What if I told you that the true powers shaping the world aren't the ones you elect? What if the so-called deep state is not an abstract conspiracy, but a complex, highly organized force operating in plain sight? For decades, we've been told governments hold the keys to power. But what if real control sits elsewhere, within multinational corporations, financial institutions, secretive think tanks, intelligence networks, and private foundations that quietly pull strings, shape policy, and set the global agenda? The phrase deep state has floated in political debate for years and is often dismissed as fringe rhetoric. Yet the deeper reality is not a single cabal. It's a sprawling web of interests whose influence reaches daily life. Corporations lobby, banks structure credit, and policy shops draft the scripts politicians recite. While the public quarrels over personalities, the architecture of power is designed to be durable, opaque, and self-perpetuating. First, understand it isn't one group. It's banks, multinational firms, intelligence services, policy shops, and PR networks coordinating to set the rules. Politicians appear on camera, but policies are often pre-written by advisors and corporate lawyers. The public debates platforms, while the actual levers of power and who holds them remain out of sight and largely unaccountable. Finance is central. Institutions like the IMF, the World Bank, and the Bank for International Settlements move capital and set conditional terms. Bailouts, loans, and structural adjustment policies often demand privatization, fiscal austerity, and market openings that favor capital at the expense of public services. In crises, assets are bought cheap and wealth consolidates while ordinary people shoulder the burden. Policy networks amplify the agenda. Think tanks, elite forums, and private foundations produce research that frames what is practical. Members shuttle between corporate boards, government posts, and regulatory agencies. The revolving door ensures continuity of interest regardless of which party wins. Ideas born in private rooms become public policy by design. Media consolidation multiplies influence. A handful of conglomerates control channels, newspapers, and major online platforms. Ratings-driven coverage privileges spectacle over scrutiny, steering public attention toward curated controversies while systemic capture stays off the front page. Narratives are shaped, inconvenient facts fade. The deep state reaches into health and food. Pharmaceutical companies fund favorable research, lobby regulators, and influence prescribing patterns. Agribusiness secures patents and subsidies that promote monoculture over local resilience. Tech platforms harvest behavioral data, monetize attention, and sell profiles that can shape civic life. These industries design systems that concentrate profit and control. Defense and energy sectors also play decisive roles. Contractors profit from prolonged conflicts. Energy firms shape regulation and trade rules to protect extraction models. Lobbying, campaign donations, and procurement ties create dependencies. Question a contract and risk economic backlash in key districts. Political realities that steer policy toward corporate advantage. The mechanism is concentration. Wealth concentrates, influence concentrates, and systems lock an advantage. Offshore structures, anonymous trusts, and dark money channels hide flows used to bankroll campaigns and lobbyists. Trade agreements and corporate carve-outs are negotiated out of public view, embedding privileges that few citizens would accept if fully debated. The human cost is stark. The opioid epidemic, driven by aggressive marketing and regulatory failure, left communities devastated while executives profited. Financialized housing made roofs unaffordable. Environmental rollbacks prioritize extraction profits over community health. These are not accidents. They are predictable outcomes of systems designed to reward extraction and minimize accountability. What does this mean for ordinary people? It shapes healthcare access, education funding, job availability, environmental protections, and the news you see. It determines which wars are fought and what regulations stand. It narrows the range of acceptable policy, presenting constrained choices as democracy's limits. Countering this requires strategic civic pressure rather than outrage alone. Start with transparency. Beneficial ownership registers, open audits of major contracts, and limits on undisclosed political spending. Break media and platform monopolies with antitrust enforcement. Strengthen whistleblower protections and robust public interest research independent of corporate funding. Enforce conflict of interest rules and close revolving door pathways that move regulators into the private sector without cooling off periods. Local action matters. Support independent journalism, community oversight boards, and participatory budgeting. Vote for candidates who reject corporate cash and demand public disclosure of donors. Build coalitions across labor, environmental, and civil society groups to take on issues at scale, because concentrated power is best checked by organized, concentrated public will. There's also a tech dimension. Surveillance capitalism turns behavior into tradable data, enabling micro-targeting and predictive systems that shape voting, lending, and insurance. AI trained on biased data automates decisions that can harden inequality. Legal and tax frameworks hide wealth in offshore vehicles and transfer pricing schemes, starving public coffers and shifting the burden onto ordinary taxpayers. Public health and climate policy are battlegrounds too. Corporations fund favorable studies, craft risk narratives, and lobby against binding rules that would cut profits. Fossil fuel interests delayed action for decades. Healthcare companies fight price reforms. Money shapes what gets debated, who is heard, and which reforms survive. The deep state survives because most accept the surface story. Elections determine outcomes. But when you trace a policy to its origin, who funded the report, who drafted the bill, who profits, you see a different map. Knowledge peels back manufactured consent and exposes leverage. Once illuminated, influence is vulnerable. It's time to stop assuming the system is beyond reform. Awareness is the first step. Pressure and organization are the second. The more people connect the dots, demand audits and donor transparency, and insist on enforceable rules, the harder it becomes for hidden networks to operate with impunity. The future should be chosen by public deliberation, not by a handful of entrenched interests. Small reforms add up: transparency registries, beneficial ownership disclosure, public audits of major contracts, limits on political donations. When institutions face sunlight, power behaves differently. Organize now. You be the judge. If you're awake, you already know what to do. Hit the link in our description and sign up for our free underground newsletter to stay informed, because the truth is often stranger than fiction.